like Dylan said, get to the net and create, and we just fed their transition all night.
Dylan, is there any reason you think for just the lack of energy or whatnot the last few games, or?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to make excuses, I think. When you show up to play, you got to show up to play, and we just don't have enough guys doing that right now, myself included. So we got to be, committed to compete, and we're just not doing that. We're very disconnected. The forwards from the D on the ice, wingers from centermen. It's just all over. There's just a lot of disconnect, a lot of skating, a lot of hard work, but we're not getting anything accomplished. And I never really think our work ethic is poor. We have a bunch of guys that work hard. It's just we're working hard and not accomplishing anything.
Dylan, some boos tonight. What would you say to fans who booed that performance?
I mean, they're frustrated. We're frustrated. They're rightfully so frustrated. It's when you play at home on a big night like tonight with the holiday coming up. It's usually a great crowd, and we didn't give them any reason to cheer and have a good night. So you feel we feel it. They're rightfully frustrated as well. So. It's just a disappointing effort and disappointing game for playing on home ice before a holiday.
JT, especially after Saturday night's game, I'm sure you guys expected a better response early on. I mean, just how disappointing is that? The first period, it seemed like it was only 1-0, but it seemed like they just dominated and could have been much worse.
Yeah, I mean, Taubes, kept us in it for a lot of the game tonight. Some huge saves. We were just giving up too much, giving up odd man breaks all night, and that wasn't the game plan. We didn't execute nearly good enough tonight.
Dylan, how can you guys take advantage of this 3-day break here to kind of regroup, reset, and get back on track coming back on Friday?
Well, just like you said, reset and get away, spend time with your families, and try and come back refreshed. And it's been difficult to come to the rink and continue to build yourself up, and then have games and performances like this. So get away and spend time with your family, and when we come back, we got to push before another break, and it's a lot of games, and we gotta get something going, and I hope guys take advantage of the rest.
Joe Veleno said after the loss in Montreal that the team's got to figure out how they want to play and basically be consistent at that. What is that in your mind that the team has to do to be a consistent success?
Well, like we played against the Leafs at home, and especially on home ice, it was probably our best performance of the year. That's why it's just we go from 1 week to that, and then this week we play like that tonight, like we did tonight, and it's just that's our identity. And you go watch that game. We were on our toes. We were forechecking. We were skating, connected. We had great shot scramble, all the things Newsy talks about. We did them, and we had a great performance, and I don't think we can't do that consistently, and that's what it's got to look like for us.
Getting out of the D zone tonight seemed like a kind of a consistent theme. How much of this can kind of be attributed to that, do you think?
Oh, I mean, just our total puck play, but yeah, breaking out, it's like I said, it's just very disconnected, and we just didn't execute very well, and the wings are up and the centers are low, and then it goes, we chip it out and we got to skate. It's just a lot of skating and not much creativity, not much driving the middle, driving the net, getting anything from breakout 200 feet to an offensive play, and something we work on a lot, but when we don't do it well, we usually don't play well.
How much of that disconnect would you say is maybe attributed to losing two key members of the back end in Edmonton and
I'm not, I don't, those are big pieces for us. We miss them, really bad, but we got capable players out there, and we get guys that we have played, in this league, and guys that can produce. So it's just all of us getting on the same page and playing with some poise.
Talking with Dylan, the one word that kept coming up was disconnected, and it looked like tonight maybe apply that to the Montreal game as well.
Yeah.
What's the source of that?
Probably some puck play. We have it, and then we're just not connected, and we don't have it. Just a little out of rhythm. The break is coming at a really good time. Obviously, our last probably 2.5 games, we're definitely searching, a little fragile maybe. It's frustrating the way this homestand started. We need the break. The break's coming at a really good time.
How much of that comes from missing a couple of key defensemen and trying to make
D
up
were
some
fine
lines to
tonight.
find?
D, I thought our D gave us a really good game tonight, considering where it's at. Obviously, any team loses, 2 top left shot D, it's going to look like that. But I thought our D, our young guys, are guys that aren't even NHL everyday guys, or everyone elevated. They did their job. We held that team to 20 shots. The chances will grade out fine as far as volume. I think our D did a really good job with the circumstances. And with that said, we'll welcome hopefully a couple of those guys back after the break.
Derek, especially after the last game, I'm sure you expected a better response. Why do you think that wasn't there right from the start?
Yeah, there's some times we had some push at times. It's just we just can't get some rhythm. I thought once we had a little line change there. I thought the guys responded okay. It's just we'd get a good shift from one line, and then we'd lose the shift on the next line. Then we get a good shift from another line, then we'd lose the shift. We got to start piling on with each other. Huge positive, obviously, you guys all watched, was Marco, Villano, and Berge, which is good. I'm just describing how we're sporadic with our lines, win a shift, lose a shift, win the shift. That line was out there winning shifts, which is a positive going forward.
Derek, ups and downs are part of an NHL season, but why do you think there's such a dichotomy? I mean, the performance against Toronto, and then...
Yeah, dichotomy is a good word. I will say this. I think there's care in the group. I think it's there. This is exactly your question. How can you look so good against Toronto and then, have this 3-game stretch to finish the break? Probably a little of that's just being connected, getting some rhythm in our game. And I wouldn't say we were in a great spot, but it felt good. Our lines, the rhythm of our lines, and then probably third period of Montreal on, our trip to Montreal on this, maybe a little fragile with the group, but again, we need the break. There's times you need it, there's times you really need it. We need a little recharge here.
Did the booze kind of sting? It seemed like they...
Just this frustrated group. We heard a couple times last year too. And again, I think some of the booze, it's the frustration because this group's showing it at times. We're not a perfect team by any means, but we've shown the ability to play at a pretty good level, and it wasn't enough tonight.
Was it all about the execution and the lack of connection, or did you see any lack of effort? Or?
No, I wouldn't. There's times we would lose some. That's maybe credit to the opponent too. There's going to be times we're light. We're going to lose some battles. That's just what we are. Maybe we'll get that back in transition or things on the rush. But again, I thought the effort at times was pretty good. I'd probably say it's sporadic too. And again, it's going back to I want to have a mentality of trying to win every shift, and it's just sporadic. We'd have some zone time, we'd have some good pressure, we'd have some looks, and then we get a group out there, we lose a shift, and then we can't build on anything.
Are you concerned about the trajectory of the season at this point?
No, of course. I mean, that's common sense. You know, it's a really fair question. Of course. I mean, this is not a very good spot to be in. But again, I just think it's about finding our game. And again, we've had moments when we found our game. You know, hence Aline's question: how does it look so good not 6 days ago? So losing the season, I don't think you look. I think you kind of live in the moment, and our moment is break, recharge, and try to get our game back in order against Toronto.
Merry Christmas.